Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bullhucker Podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Jen Neb, Generous.
What's up, Jen Neb? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I just sure can't complain right now.
You're rocking your octopus hat, too.
I am. My new one lost or my old one lost a tentacle.
Oh, really?
So some lady, I bitched about it on Facebook, and then some lady had the kindness of her heart just made me one and mailed me
Really?
one. Yeah.
That's nice.
I thought it was super cool. So yeah, I'm rocking my new octo hat.
Nice.
All 8 tentacles intact.
Nice. Very
Loving
nice.
it.
We have a guest today.
Yes, we do.
And you've not met this one. This is brand new to you.
That's right.
Kathy Gutierrez, how are you?
I'm fabulous, thank you.
It's awesome to finally get you on.
Yes, happy to be here. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
A lot of people, we talked about this way long ago, and it's, getting 3 people scheduled together is tough. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
tough to
sure.
coordinate this. So, but welcome to the Bullhucker Podcast.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and honor to be here.
Yeah,
so.
we're excited to have you. You have a new business you're starting.
Yes, I'm super excited about it. So it's called Forever, F-U-R, Ever Loving Your Pets. And, I just kind of was brainstorming. I've had some health issues, and so I'm not able to do my regular job. So I'm like, and this is something I've thought about doing, but
Right.
just kind of scared, starting
Yeah.
your own business. And so what I did was I went on Facebook and I just simply posted, hi, family and friends. Just wanted to reach out, let you know that I have this friend. She's wonderful, great personality. She's starting up her own business as a pet sitter. I said, so if you're interested, private message me and I'll get you her information. I've already gotten 5 bookings off of that.
Nice.
And that's not even putting my name out there yet.
Right.
So I had my first sitting last weekend. I watched 3 dogs from Tuesday all the way through Saturday, and I even do overnights, which these 3 dogs, they have special needs. The puppy especially has anxiety. Every time I go over there to check on him during the day, even though I put everything up, that dog would find something to haul out from somewhere, and I have a mess to clean up. But all in all, it was so much fun. I'm attached to these 3 dogs already.
Right.
And I got a call the next day from the same customer just to watch them for an hour and a half. And so you could say I already have a repeat customer, and I
Yeah.
have 4 already scheduled from now until the end of May.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more about it at the end of the podcast, get more into it, but definitely a need, I think. I see a lot online. People looking for somewhere to put their pets or board them.
Yes.
Whatnot. So definitely
Yep.
something that's very cool. Well, let me start by saying this: if you're new to the podcast, hey, welcome to the Bullhucker Podcast. What we do is we bring on a guest. Today's Kathy Gutierrez. What's going to happen is she's going to tell us 3 stories about her life. Now, here's the kicker: only 2 of these stories are true. One's either borrowed, made up, or it's half and half, an embellished story, if we would.
Yep.
And then after this, Jennifer and I are going to try and guess which one of them is the Bullhucker. So, Jen, are you ready?
I am ready.
You want to hear some stories? Are you ready to tell some stories?
I am.
All right, Kathy's not messing around. Jen, you want to name them off?
Yes. So we have headbutt from a 1.5-year-old caused a stroke. Met Mike in a bar, and skinny dip at camp. No rules.
There you go.
Exciting. I'm excited just reading the titles.
Well, welcome back, Jennifer. Why don't you go ahead and pick one of those out?
Alrighty. So I am going to take the one that intrigues me the least to start this out. Is Mike your husband?
He is my husband.
Okay. Let's hear how Kathy met Mike in the
Yes.
bar.
Yes. So, that was always the one place that I said I would never marry a guy from the bar or anything like that. And this was in California because that's where I'm originally from. And so we were out with some friends, and it used to be a popular bar in Westminster, California called Gecko's. Lots of fun. And so one night we were looking for our friend and could not find her anywhere. And happened to look out on the dance floor, and she's making out with this guy. And that is really not like her.
A stranger.
Just as, out of the nowhere guy. And
Good for you, girl. Good
Yeah.
for you. Get you some.
and so me and the girls were like, we need to get her away from him because, for one, he looked like a player to me, and we weren't having it. So, and mind you, I've already had been married and had 2 kids at this time. And so I was single and, kind of already been down that road. And my friend had never been married or anything at this time. So, so she comes over to us finally, and we're like, what are you doing? You don't even know this guy. Oh, he is so cute and handsome. And he invited us all over to his place afterwards. And I'm like, we are not going. Needless to say, we ended up going, and
You got overruled.
and I had my own car, so I said I'm going to drive, and the other girls drove our friend. So we get to the apartment, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling the vibe. He just kind of was giving me creepy vibes, and so I told my friend, I said, you know what, I'm going to leave, and I said, just be careful. And so a couple of weeks later, she calls me, and they're dating. She didn't tell me up until 2 weeks later that they were dating. And I'm like, well, you know, it's your life. You're an adult, you know. And so she's like, guess where you took me on my first date? I'm thinking, typical guy, takes a girl to a movies and, you know. So she's like, he told me to dress warm and that he'd be there at a certain time. This guy takes her ice skating. And I'm like, is there really a guy out there that is, you know, that is creative and,
right.
you know, take a girl ice skating? And so I'm like, okay, I thought that was pretty cool. And then they ended up breaking up about 4 months later. But then every time us girls would go out, we would call Mike and his friends, and we just all meet at the same place. And we did this for like a year. And then finally, about a year and a half later, him and I went to go dance. And so we were dancing and talking, and I told him that I had wished that I had met him that night instead of her. And so
so Mike was the creepy guy.
the creepy guy. But over time,
Still a creepy guy in my book. Still a creepy guy.
but over time, you know, when we would go out and we'd meet him and his friends, you know, he turned out to be a pretty nice guy, and
Right.
he didn't take advantage of my friend in any way, and very polite and respectful. And so then, I guess the bad part of the story is I ended up calling her a couple of days after we had all gone out. And I said, you know, because I wore a jean dress that night. And I said, I think I gave Mike some money to hold for me because I didn't have a purse or any pockets or anything. And I said, can I get his number so I can call him and ask him about it? And she's like, well, why would you give him your money? Why wouldn't you give it to one of us? I said, we were out on the dance floor and I didn't want to hold it in my hand. So she calls him and says, you know, this is what Kathy said. And he's like, well, because he wanted my number, because he's like, okay, he knew that I didn't give him any money.
Right.
So he's wanting to know what's going on. So he's like, well, why don't you give me her number so I can call her?
You guys are dirty, man. So dirty.
And she was like really reluctant. And, you know, we were best friends,
Right.
you know, but, you know, love happens in mysterious ways. And that night, I would have had nothing to do with him.
Right.
But, you know, hearing how he was with her, very nice, and then getting to know him over the next year. And then I don't know what made me say this, but I was like, yeah, I wish I would have met you that night. But you could say I was a pursuer, right? Because
Classic case of ice skating envy.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
and to this day, he has never taken me ice
I was
skating.
just going to ask that.
Really?
You guys been ice skating?
Yes, and we've been married 27. It'll be 27 years this June.
I mean, the proof's in the pudding then, right?
Yep,
I
yep.
mean, it worked out. So,
So meeting somebody at a bar isn't so bad.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so what year is this?
97 is when we got married.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was about 95.
Yeah, I mean, so a different world then, right?
Yeah. Oh,
The bar
yes.
scene was a different world
Yep.
now. So yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Are you still friends with the girl?
No, in fact, you know, she wasn't his type. You know, she was a chain smoker.
Yeah.
She wasn't the kind of girl that when she had she could have a couple drinks and that's it. She would drink to the point where you couldn't even understand her.
Yeah.
You know, and that he didn't like a girl that smoked, for one.
Right.
But you know, she really just wasn't his type, I think.
No, it's it is what it is. I mean, it just because she got there first doesn't mean it was the right fit, right?
Right.
27 years of marriage is a pretty loud statement.
Yes.
You know,
And
so.
I would get threatening calls from her friends that I had met through her, you know, telling me to watch my back. And we're in our 20s,
Yeah.
for gosh sakes.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're leaving messages on my phone threatening me to watch my back. And, you know, so, and, you know, the funny thing is I told him, because he never wanted to stay in California.
Right.
He didn't want to raise kids there. And I said, well, I'm never getting married again, and I'm not having kids either, and I'm not leaving my family.
Right.
Wouldn't you know it, you know, 2 more kids.
Oh, Mikey Jr. showed up.
Yes. And so, but I was an only child, so I knew I would have a few kids. And
Sure.
so just always loved the big family. And and then he dragged me out here. You know, people ask me, well, how'd you get out all the way out here?
Right. Right.
It was love.
I have
Very nice.
I have a super close friend of mine who that happened to him. Kind of happened to him. He ended up marrying one of his coworkers, and a friend of his wife. Well, they were going through a divorce, and almost immediately, my friend and her got together. They've been together now for 15, 16 years. I mean, I think close to 17, 18 altogether, but married for that long, you know. And they're kicking ass, man.
Yeah.
They're doing really well. And
Yeah.
they will continue to do it. They're just, they're a good fit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and they both put up with my shit, therefore. I'm a fan of hers. You know who you are, too, my little drinking buddy. She knows who she is, too.
Yeah.
And I think the world of both of them, so.
Yeah, and you know, we've gone through our shares of trouble. There's no perfect relationship out there. I don't care what people say, but you know, I believe in those vows because you know these people or some people nowadays, you know, a lot of your younger kids that get married, it's so easy for them just to turn and walk away. And you know, I've told Mike, till death do us part, and I meant it.
Right. But I'll be a little devil's advocate right here. Your generation got worse. My generation's got a little more worse with it. Like my grandparents' generation, I mean, it was my great auntie, my great aunt Ruth. Her husband, I never met him, had a huge gambling problem. Like pawned her wedding ring. Oh. And he left. She has no idea what happened to him, but she never divorced him because she's hardcore Catholic, man.
Wow.
Yeah, she took vows, man, and so she never. She was still divorced to the day she died, or she was still married to the day she died.
Oh, wow.
Didn't know if he's alive. Didn't know. They had 3 kids together. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that generation was hardcore, and our generation's better than this generation now. And now it's you know, do your vows. You're like, death to us part needs to be taken out, right?
I suppose.
Yeah.
But I always get, you know, made fun of because I'm older by 4 years.
Oh.
And so, you know, he'll give me a hard time. And, you know, I'm like, I get told all the time I don't look 57.
I wouldn't guess that.
You can make fun of me all you want.
Right.
I kept saying our generation because I thought you were closer to my age.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Never mind your generation, then my generation.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I happen to like growing up in the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm always posting. The 80s was an amazing time to grow up.
Right.
You know, riding
agree.
bikes and, you know, literally when the street lights came on, that's when we went home.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, our parents never hollered for us unless it was lunchtime. We needed to come in and eat. And, you know,
Right.
we literally drank water out of the hose. And
Right.
it cracks me up. These kids these days could not survive in my time. But I wish they would have had that opportunity because it was a great time.
It was a great time to be alive.
Yeah.
The museum, I'm on the museum board. They're going to have a camp here in June. It's a history camp.
Oh,
The Bruce Fife History Camp, right? And they're going to do a museum one day, but for one day, they're going to bring them a bunch of board games and like jacks and stuff that
Oh, yeah?
that our grandparents would have played. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're going to let these kids see what the games were like back
Yes.
in the day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I thought that was such a neat idea.
Yeah, or hopefully like Chinese jump rope and
Right.
those types of games.
Right.
How
Oh
fun!
my
I haven't
gosh,
heard
that
in a long
Chinese jump
time.
Yeah.
rope.
Or do you guys remember the clapping ones? I can't remember the songs to them anymore, but we used to do clapping games, different movements
Sure.
and stuff like that. I don't
Cat's
remember.
cradle.
But yes, yeah.
I remember
So-
the Chinese jump rope being one of my favorite things back in the
Yep.
day.
Yeah.
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 I was a four square guy.
Oh yeah, I love that too. And tetherball.
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 Oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Yeah,
that was so much fun.
nowadays, I mean, once again, devil's advocate. We didn't have what they have nowadays because
Yeah.
you never know. We might have been the same as them. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm
yep.
pretty much hooked to this thing right here. I hate to
Yep.
say it, but I check when I leave the house to make sure I have my wallet, my keys, and my phone.
Yep.
You know, might not have clothes on, but I got
Yes.
my wallet, my keys, and my phone.
You may not
Keys
be
and
matching
phone.
one, or your shirt might be inside out, but
Right.
you got your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you heard Adam Sandler's new
Yes,
comedy special
yes,
with the Wallet Key?
yeah.
Oh my god, that song is great.
Because it hits so close to home.
It sure does.
It nails it. So, yeah.
And you know he's an 80s guy too, because
Yes.
all the music in his movies are all 80s music.
Right.
And yeah, he's one of my faves. So.
Absolutely. I always talk to my kid about, I'm so sorry that you missed real life before cyber took it all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, all four of my kids, they know, they love 80s music. I mean, Maya, she's 22. Well, let me go back. Mikey saw his first Kiss concert when he was only 8 years old.
That's awesome.
You know, so like Mike always teases him, that's where he saw his first pair of girls, so to speak, on the big screen even.
Nice. Up on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
You're like, you're never going to see him like that again.
Yep.
Dad, can we go to a concert every week? I don't give a shit what it is, Dad.
Yeah.
Can we go to a concert every week? Yeah.
Yep. So Mike and I still love going to concerts.
Yeah.
And the louder, the better.
Yeah,
You know. So yeah.
The thing that sucks is all the music you like, they're all breaking up or dying.
I know.
You know.
Yes. Yes.
I went to that Motley Crue Poison Def Leppard concert with Joan Jett. Man.
Yep.
Did you go to that?
That was so awesome.
It was
yeah.
really awesome, man.
Yeah.
You're not much of a hair rock 80s?
Oh, yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to love it, and I saw a lot of them back then.
Who'd you think was the best that night?
It definitely wasn't Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're my favorite band of all time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just you know, he just can't make those tunes like he used to be able to.
Yeah.
But Poison has been my all-time favorite.
I thought they were
band.
the best all night.
Yeah,
You know?
they really were.
And
Yeah.
I'm a massive Def Leppard guy too, so that was the Poison did really well.
Yeah.
Even CC DeVille, man, was still.
I know.
He still had it, man.
Yes.
That dude still
Nice.
had it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to watch Rock of Love with Bret Michaels?
No.
Just for fun, you have
Yeah,
to have to watch it. I mean, it was years ago, but he just gets these crazy women all in one house, and
yeah, I'm sure.
yeah, and he's trying to pick one.
Yeah.
I watched it when
Did
it was
you?
running. It was great. In
Yeah.
fact, the other day, my friend, she said, I'm getting so much gray hair. She said, I'm going to start rocking a Bret Michael bandana. So
Right.
she's got her bandana pulled down over her hairline now.
Yep, that's probably what I would do too.
Right.
And he's a severe diabetic, and
Yes.
he's actually taking good care of himself. I don't know if everybody. He looked the best out of all the.
He did.
Lead singers,
He always
you know?
looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you know too? He just adopted a husky from Colorado about 5 months ago. I can't remember the connection and how he found out about it, but he's a German Shepherd guy, and he adopted this husky from some shelter here in Colorado.
Very nice.
I don't know how he heard about the husky, but yeah, it was super cool.
That is
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah,
Yep.
those old '80s concerts. I'm with you. My favorite thing to do is in the summer, go to an outdoor venue.
Yes.
A summer night, warm summer night, and just listen to good music. Man.
Right. And you know, everybody talks bad about Fiddler's Green. I know it's
love
called
it.
some, and I do too. And we always get general
lawn.
admission.
The
Yes.
lawn, yes.
Lawn seats are the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my favorite too. And I
Me
don't know why
too.
people hate it so much.
Yeah. I don't either.
Well, at least they still play rock. I mean, Red Rocks has taken over all the EDM and the stuff that we're too old for.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like to go, but I'm usually like one of the oldest person standing there.
Yeah.
Fiddler's
That's
Green still
okay.
pumps out rock.
I know. And have yet to go to a concert there, and hopefully this summer I'd love to go see Sublime, and I think they're going to be there again this year. So
They are coming this year, and I just saw that Blondie is going to come
Yeah,
this year.
yeah.
He'd go to a Blondie concert.
She
all day
performed
long.
in Fort Collins at their.
The Aggie.
They had something. They used to have something every summer, and she performed there, and she still sounded really good.
Wow,
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool when they age well. But yeah, it's
Yep.
nothing's
Oh
better
yeah.
than a warm summer night music. So
Heck yeah.
Can't wait.
Jen, what'd you think about that one?
I think that's just great, and I kind of agree with you. I've always been against meeting people in bar, unless if you're going for a straight hookup. You know,
Sure.
that's-
Right.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, meeting somebody at a bar is difficult and precarious because
Right.
you don't know.
Right.
They might just be there having a fun. They might be there because they're there all the time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
And you know, Mike and I talk about all the time. If we were both single, how awful it would be, you know, to go back to that scene. And we both said we'd just stay single.
I don't.
You know.
I don't know. The bar scene even really kills anymore. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it does okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yes. I mean, since computers, it's become more about Tinder and sadly, sex and relationships has become so callous. They're not
Yeah.
serious anymore.
Right.
They're not.
Yeah.
It's okay to just do whatever. And
Yep.
for people who still have old school morals, it's at our age. I'm single also. It's so hard to find.
Yeah. Just some companionship.
Yes, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And guys take you to the movie and dinner, and that's why I don't date men. You know, boring
Right.
sons of bitches. So yeah, I liked it too. That was a great story. And I know Mike; he's a great guy. We worked together for a while.
I know.
At Budweiser,
Those
yeah.
were the best days, I
Oh.
think, you know, with Adam Gutierrez
Oh,
and Troy and good times.
People don't believe the stories. I think from that place sometimes because sometimes I mean how that place. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
wild, man. It was. I mean, they gave a bunch of degenerates a warehouse full of beer. You know what I mean?
Right,
I don't
yes.
know. I don't know who signed off on that shit, but it
And
wasn't great.
said,
You know?
have at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carte blanche.
Yeah.
Yep. But you know, the fun times of you guys working at Budweiser is when you had a new product come out. You guys would go to a bar and promote that new beer. And I think that's when Mike really started believing in himself that he could sell.
Yeah.
Because anything that guy would try to promote, it would sell like crazy.
Right,
So,
right.
yes.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That's what he's done forever since.
Yes.
right?
Yep. And he works for a company in Denver called Pelsu. So he sells safety equipment for confined spaces.
Yeah.
And but he gets to travel too. Like right now, this morning he just left for Ohio. 2 weeks ago he was in California. Next month he's going to Florida. So
Very
Wow.
cool.
yeah.
How
So
cool.
yeah.
And when you
Yep.
say, I gotta ask, when you say, are you talking about like for minors? And
like
for,
like if you see a manhole and there's usually some metal type of bars around the hole, so they make those and also the hoists that attach to the men to go down in those holes.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah.
Well, and
I
I'm
love-
sure it brings up new challenges and opportunities.
Oh,
and
yes.
something. That's fun.
Yep. And
Very
he says
nice.
he works, but he goes to these shows where he has a big booth and he sets up his equipment. He gets to talk to people all
Yeah,
day. I'm
yeah.
like, you are not working.
Hand out free pens and shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Tell him, Larry.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not working.
They
I
always
got
say
you, bro.
it's
I got
never
you.
work as long as you love it, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. If you find something you love, you'll never work another day in your
That's
life.
right.
Yep.
All right. We got one down. We got two more. Skinny dip at camp with no rules and headbutt from a 1.5-year-old caused a stroke. Well, I'm going to go with skinny dip at camp with no rules because that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. There was a lake that we were invited to every summer called Camp No Rules. And literally, I mean, where most lakes around here, if you get caught drinking while you're driving your boat, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
They had no patrols out there whatsoever.
Is this out in California?
No, this is in, if you've ever heard of Gill, it's it's a very small town, but the actual lake is off of Highway 285, I believe. So it's a private lake. And any more directions I couldn't tell you. I could show you, but couldn't tell
They'd
you.
have to kill you.
Yeah.
But Gill is in Colorado.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's up by
Yes.
Johnstown, right?
Yeah. So like if when you come to Kersey at that light,
Yep.
you take a right.
Okay.
And then you get to the stop sign at the very end and you go right and you take that all the way and it takes you onto 285.
Okay.
Yep. So it's, I don't know, what would you say, northeast? Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because I had never heard of it either. And so we're talking, Scott Guzman, Dick Shantz, Mandy Shantz, Mike Garcia,
Right.
Tommy Rodriguez. I mean, all of us would be out there all the time, and a lot of crazy things happen out there. And it's where I learned pretty much how to day drink. So there's no time for eating when you're at Camp No Rules.
Nice.
And then it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, you've been drinking out on the boats and the water, and you're like, I think I better eat. And so, we might grab a sandwich, but it's just basically nonstop fun, playing volleyball. And, when you get to a certain level, as Garcia would say, you tend to maybe do things that you typically wouldn't do.
Oh,
and so,
preach, sister, preach.
Yeah. And this is crazy. No, I'm 56 years old. I can say what I want, right?
That's right.
That's right.
I've always wanted to skinny dip,
Yeah.
but just have had a fear of things in the water crawling in places where they shouldn't be.
Yeah, right.
So that has kept me from doing it. But, this one night, it was Tommy's birthday and he was asleep. And we're like, he needs to be awake. He should not be sleeping.
Right.
And so we woke him up, and needless to say, he's like, okay, I'm up. We're doing fireball shots. And the rest is history. So
Yeah.
somebody had this bright idea to go skinny dipping, and there you go. I don't think I was 50 yet. I think I was still in my late 40s. But yeah. Took me till I got in my 40s to finally skinny dip.
I was going to say that, I'd much rather yanked it all off in my teenage years.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's bold. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Yeah. I was an introvert growing up. I was an only child. So I was just very quiet. And then after I divorced my first husband, it all changed after that.
Yeah.
I finally had a voice and an opinion, and nobody was going to, if I had something to say, I was going to say it. And, I didn't care who I offended.
You found who you were.
I did.
You found
and it
yourself.
was so nice.
Yeah, that's
Yes. And it's even
Very cool.
gotten better over the years because I think sometimes it's gotten me into trouble, but I feel this is how I need to be,
Right.
and I'm not going to pretend to be somebody I'm not. And even when we moved out here, I was a little skeptical of being that way because, I got a lot of looks when I first moved out here, and Mike told me I would. And he's like, you know what, what do you care what they think?
Yeah.
Well, I need to make friends out here.
Right.
I can't be, I can't be a smart aleck and to these people that I've never met before. And I was a little quiet for a little bit, but that didn't last for very long.
No mas.
So,
you got to
yeah.
be you, though, right? Mm-hmm. Your people will find you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the
Yep.
people that they offend or get mad at you, why you want them around anyway?
Right. Yeah.
They're wet blanket, man. Beat
Yep.
it. Peace out, G.
Yeah, exactly. And Mike played softball from that first year we moved here, and I met some of the greatest people that we're all still friends. Mike retired finally from softball a couple of years ago,
Right.
and they are always trying to get him, rope him back in,
Right.
and a lot of the guys, they didn't like me going to the games, one in particular, Larry Holter. I love you, Larry.
What's up, Larry?
They'd win every single game in league, and they'd get to the championship and they would just lose it. So if somebody didn't catch a ball, I'd be like, what are you guys doing? You come all this way to lose? And Larry would yell at Mike, Mike, your wife. And Mike would be like, she's on her own.
She's a good coach. Listen to her.
Yeah, so
She gets a bit stabby, so I don't, you know.
yeah, but Larry would just shake his head, and I enjoyed it. I do miss Mike playing, but my son-in-law JJ, he still plays, and so we go watch him play, and it's kind of nice, just sitting there watching everybody else, and they're still so competitive, and it's like, you guys, it's softball. The most you're going to win is a trophy about this tall.
Right.
We've got 3 of them.
Right.
And Mike's like, I don't want to get rid of him. I'm like, I don't want you to get rid of him either.
Yeah.
So they just kind of hang out in the garage.
Mike was also a stud in high school with
Yes.
baseball, so it's probably that competitive streak probably
Yes.
hard to get rid of.
Yep,
Especially
yep.
it's once you win, you don't ever want to lose, right?
Yep.
So,
Well, when you win it on your own merit instead of everybody gets a ribbon, that
Yep.
yeah.
is a huge sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, and I'll be
So-
honest with you guys, and I'm not, and I think most of the softball guys would agree, he's older than all these guys, most of them, and I think he would play third, and he could still do way better than some of those younger guys,
Right.
and but that's just the competitiveness in him,
Right.
and so I, miss him playing because he would dive for those balls, and
It was fun to watch.
yeah,
Yeah.
really fun to watch. So
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
How fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't realize there was a men's softball league around.
Oh,
Yeah.
softball
For
and
years.
Brush is massive, man.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Really?
No.
Yeah. I mean,
Co-ed's even big here.
Yeah.
Or it used to be, I guess.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I played co-ed once on Matt Torres's team, and I only played one game because for some reason he had me batting before him. And if you know Matt at all and how fast he runs, I had to go regardless if I thought I could make it because Matt's right behind me.
He's behind you, pushing
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
back.
And playing co-ed isn't sometimes safe for women either, because he had me playing third base, and not a good position for a girl on a co-ed team. And Mike was playing short, and I don't know, Mike had a suspicion about this guy that was up to bat, so Mike told me to move over a little bit, and it was a good thing I did, because the guy probably would have took my face off, but instead I did catch it, and when it hit, it sounded like all the bones in my hand broke, and then because my hand was so numb from the hit, the ball dropped out of my mitt. So I was super bummed because I
Yeah.
did catch it, but so I never played another co-ed game after that.
Mom
Yep.
took one in the forehead. Remember she came
no.
home and she had this lump, like this unicorn bump on her head, and I was like, "What happened to you?" But growing up in Brush, we'd go to the softball fields every weekend.
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know? And me and my friends would go to the pool, or we'd go to the park or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty big.
Well, we'd play in 4-H. Our 4-H clubs used to. All the 4-H clubs had ball games, but
Yeah.
after I aged out of that, I didn't even have a
Yeah.
clue.
Yeah.
Yep.
What-
No.
What did you think about that one, Jennifer?
Well, I think that's just a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and I learned something new today, and
I don't go skinny dipping because I like to hear into the dry heaves.
I don't even like skinny dipping with myself. Like, I don't like to look in the mirror in the bathroom. So I think that's bold. I think it's nice that you have felt the freedom that you could do it and were able to do it.
And it was at night.
Kudos
so-
to
Who
you.
cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
I know there's the cops over the years have had about so many kids skinny dipping at the pool.
Yep.
They hop the fence, throw off the clothes, and go.
And just dive in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
We grew up with a pool in our backyard. I was never once naked in it.
Really?
No, isn't that weird?
That's weird.
Well-
Mike was once, and we had Christina and Ted Tyne over one time because we got an above the ground pool, and I think Ted and Christina got out so fast because once they knew Mike went in there with no shorts, they were out of that pool.
It's funny you say Ted. He was in my 4-H club when I was
Was
growing
he?
up. Yeah.
It's funny. Guys are like that, though. So. All right. We got one left. But before we do the third story, usually we do the sponsor between the first and second. But you know what? I forgot because I'm a horrible person. But we're going to take a quick minute here from a word from our sponsor. It is the Magic Bean Coffee Shop there in Fort Morgan. So here's a quick video. Check them out.
Hello, my name's Megan Orcutt. I'm the owner and operator at the Magic Bean Coffee House. We're located at the block on East 8th Avenue. We're open from Wednesday to Sunday, and we are open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. We carry a variety of fresh, daily made pastries and donuts from Littletown Donuts and Sugar Beet Treats, made in the kitchen behind the coffee house for you. We offer all of your lattes, macchiatos, and mochas, as well as a fun monthly special. You can find us on all of our social media or at our website, themagicbean.com.
All right, that was old Megan at the Magic Bean. So go check them out. Support a local business. It's a family-owned coffee shop. If you want to grab a coffee in Fort Morgan, that's the place you should go check it out. Have you been out there yet? Have you had a chance?
I'm not a coffee drinker.
Yeah, me neither
But
am
if they
I.
have foo-foo drinks, like a dragon fruit drink or something, I'll have that.
Yeah.
But-
I'm not. I want to be a coffee drinker. I want to get away from energy drinks because I'm a caffeine junkie. So it's a weird position, right? But I'll say maybe something sweet with caffeine.
Sure.
And every time she makes me something, I'm like, no, it's dessert. I'm basically getting dessert. That's all it is. You know, it's just pour sugar in that thing. So, all right.
I've had to lay off and switch to black coffee because they're too sugary. For me.
Yeah. I mean, it was delicious. Whatever
Yeah.
she gave me, it was. They had a Friends trivia out there that night or something, and it was a moot point or whatever. The Joey, they're all Friends quotes. The coffees are all named after Friends quotes, and that's the one she made that day. So,
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't even, because I like hot tea, and I can't even drink out of, like, if it's a cup that Mike's had coffee in, if I even smell it, I won't drink out of that cup.
Wow.
I don't like the smell.
Right.
Never have, so.
yeah. Well, then you are the only one because everybody else on this planet's like a coffee junkie. It's nuts. So, like the guys at work drink it just black, just in the coffee. They pour it in them. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, all right. We got 2 down, 1 to go. Last story. Headbutt from a 1.5-year-old caused a stroke.
Yes. Nobody, I don't think, would ever believe anything like that. I'm still having a hard time believing it myself. But about a little over a month ago, I was watching my grandkids. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter now and a 1.5-year-old grandson. And I was playing with him. We were playing kind of rough, and I didn't have my hands up, and he just slammed right into my nose, and I heard a crack. So I'm like, okay, worst case, he broke my nose, but
Right.
not so bad to where you could see it, maybe just a
Right.
little crack inside. And so a few hours later, I started having some blurred vision in the right eye and really bad headaches. And so that following Monday, went to urgent care and did a facial x-ray, and that came back fine, but wanted me to call my eye doctor. And so the eye doctor got me in right away and found bleeds behind my eye. So the very next day was referred to an eye surgeon in Fort Collins, and he said it wasn't a headbutt. He said you had a stroke in your right eye. And so that freaked me out, you know, because I thought I was in pretty decent health. But then he had told me that he wanted me to see a retina specialist. So 2 days later, and also follow up with my primary care doctor. So a couple days later, met with the retina specialist, and he basically confirmed what, you know, the doctor on that Tuesday had said. And so then asked me to come back in 4 weeks. He said, if your vision's not better, we'll have to start treatment, injections. And so then I saw my primary care doctor. We did a ton of blood work. They were looking for clotting, any type of bleeds. They did an MRI of my brain, and then the following week I had appointments with my cardiologist. So we've done all this workup, and everything's come back as far as like my heart and all that has come back negative.
Good.
So, but nobody wanted to say, yes, it was initially caused by the trauma to the face, but it had to, because that's when the symptoms started.
Right.
You know, and I've had trauma. Well, when I was 7 years old, somebody threw a roller skate and I had to get stitches in my head. And our heads are pretty durable.
Right.
And then just to get a headbutt and have it cause a stroke like that, I think the doctors didn't want to think it was that. They were thinking it was something more underlying health issue.
Right.
So I have been back to the eye doctor, and there's swelling now going on in the right eye. And he is still convinced that it's high blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure. My blood pressure is good. And so, but ever since I was told I had a stroke, I've changed my eating, doing more exercising, because that's kind of, so what they diagnosed me with is a CRVO. And I'm sorry, I can't think of the definition exactly, but it has to do with the eye. And the way to kind of make those vessels better is by eating healthier. Yeah, this isn't good, but it's the first one I've had in a week, and I felt like treating myself today.
It tastes good, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does. Yes. And so, so I had to get my first eye injection, which most people would think that it's painful. And you know what? It didn't even hurt. They numb the heck out of your eye with drops. I think I got like 8 drops, and then they put a thing in your eye to hold your eyelids open, and the injection just goes right here in the corner. Now
Is it a steroid of
it's
sorts?
not a steroid. This is gross, but it's what they used to treat for colon cancer.
Yes.
And so it's super
Fascinating.
weird, but they have found that it helps replenish or rejuvenate those vessels. Am I seeing better? Not a whole lot. I see floaters all the time. And so it's limited by vision. They said that I won't go completely black in my right eye, but I will lose a good part of my vision in that eye.
Well, it might not be the same thing, but for the past year, I've been taking my Uncle Ed up to the Front Range to get the same thing done.
Oh.
He gets a shot, but he only has one eye to begin with.
Oh.
He lost his other eye to cancer as a child.
Oh.
So, but he goes and gets the shot in the eye, so I got to drive him because he can't drive, obviously,
Right.
because it's all blurry when you first get done. But his is getting better.
Is it really?
It's getting better, so keep hope,
And that's what I'm hoping for, because in December, I started seeing floaters as well as spider webs. So I eventually, my retina will detach. It's stable right now, but eventually it will detach. And this is an age thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen to everybody, but so it's like, okay, I'm already having issues in this eye, and now I've got major issues in this eye. And so kind of the biggest thing, you know, that I just want to mention through this whole thing, because I've had a lot of depressed days. I'm not able to do my regular job right now. But there's a movie out there. I don't know if you guys have heard about her, but it's on Netflix. It's called Naiad. She was the swimmer at 63 that swam from Cuba to Key West.
Wow.
And nonstop, 103 hours and 2.5 days. Nonstop.
And she's 60 something.
She's 60. Because she accomplished this in 2015.
Holy shit.
At 63. She tried it when she was 30, and she couldn't do it. And she's done other big swims, but this one was the one she would do, and then she would retire. And if I don't watch it every day, I watch it probably every other day, because she is such a huge inspiration.
That's cool.
You know, because like, I can't say that I can't do something when she at 63 did it. You know, the first time the weather wasn't the greatest. She got stung by a box jellyfish twice and survived. And then the third time she wanted to go even though she was told the weather was going to be bad and the waves were going to be rough.
And sharks.
And sharks, yeah. She did have a shark encounter, but she had shark experts that were in like canoes
Right.
that were watching her constantly.
Right.
But I mean, could you imagine swimming? I swim at the Star and I can't even do a full lap like this. I
Yeah.
could only do a half lap. So the fact that she did this nonstop for 2.5 days of in open waters,
Kathy.
it's so inspirational.
How many hours was it? 100 and what?
103.
Girl, I wouldn't want to
103 miles. I'm sorry. 103 miles.
Okay, even
in
better.
2.5 days. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in the damn canoe for 103 miles, let alone swim in the damn thing, you know?
Yes.
Sitting there going, oh my God, you know?
Yeah, I know. And you know, because of her age, she didn't get sponsors. So they were her and her best friend, they remortgaged their house, and that's how they were able to pay for fuel, food, because every 90 minutes her friend fed her, just put the food in her mouth, because she couldn't touch the boat, you couldn't touch her. It was very strict on the rules.
Right.
But I mean, that movie is such an inspiration, and
That's very cool.
you know, if anybody gets down and feels like they're just not going anywhere, she has been a huge motivator for me.
That's very
so,
cool.
Yeah. So
When Ed first started, it was pretty bad for a while.
Yeah.
You know, I'd worry because he has one eye, so if it goes out, he's completely blind, you know?
Yeah.
And I'd have to take him up there every now and again. Like, he called me one time, kind of panicked, like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting the floaters, everything you just said. So we hopped in there. He called him, and I called in sick to work, and we took him. I just got back this, what's today, Tuesday?
Yes.
I took him yesterday, Monday. So, and his vision's got a little better. So
Oh, good.
it was every 4 weeks. Now we're going every 5 weeks. The doctor thinks maybe every 6 weeks, but he wants to say 5. I get it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, but it's getting better.
Now, how did his situation happen?
He just, he's retired. He's getting
Age
old.
thing?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he just started having like weird, like, so he would, like when he's driving, Kathy, he'd see like headlights, but they'd be uneven.
Oh, uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
but like the swimmers and all that, he would
Yeah.
get all that. But it was, or like a pole would like start to bend. But, you know, and I told him it's just a bad acid, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with your eye, bro. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's wild, Kathy. What,
Yeah.
maybe to think, I'm no doctor, but maybe something was going on with you to begin with, and that hit to the head, that little boy might have saved your life. You know what I mean?
Yes, and that's how I looked at it, because there could have been, and you know, I still don't feel the greatest. You know, like yesterday, I felt like I was having shortness of breath, and then I realized it was just anxiety.
Yes.
And so with, you know, when you have something medically going on with you, the thought of losing my vision scares the death out of me.
It should.
You know, I mean, it's to not be able to see my family, my grandbabies,
Right.
just, you know, the world, it's really scary. And so, but I'm thankful. You know, I know God is with me, and he will do what he feels he needs to do. So I just pray.
They'll figure it out, man.
Yep.
You know, everybody gives our medical situation in this country is kind of screwed, but that's financially screwed. But
Yeah.
but the leaps and bounds they're making with everything.
Right.
You know, that's why I don't work out to lose weight. I'm just waiting for the pill to come out. It's coming. It'll be the day after I die. They'll be like, hey, guess what we got? You know?
But there is Kelly Clarkson. You've heard of you've heard of her
Yeah.
you know, story.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
just gummies. Just order off her website.
Really?
Yes.
Check that shit out. You had me at gummies.
Yeah.
Me too. You're like, do they have THC in them? Because I'm down. Lose weight and get high.
And supposedly she didn't have to work out or change her eating habits.
Wow.
So, and I've always believed that that's all it is
Yeah.
changing your eating
that's
habits
all it
and
is.
working out or some walking,
Right.
you know, some kind of exercise. So I get in the pool, I go to the Star, I try to go a few times a week. And so that's why when I'm doing laps, I'm like, how did Diana do this for 2.5 days
Yeah.
at 103 miles?
Well,
It's
training,
just insane.
you know,
yeah.
training, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and that's full body conditioning.
Yes.
I mean, that swimming
Yeah.
is all encompassing.
Yeah.
Well, look at those Olympic swimmers. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
they're all, you know,
Yeah.
Adonis, man. You know, not an ounce of fat on them. So,
Yep.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that one, Jen?
Well, I think that's incredible.
is.
I'm gonna have to. I've seen the thing on Netflix too. I'm gonna have to watch it
Yes.
now.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yes.
I didn't know what it was. I'll have to check it
Yeah.
out for sure, too.
I
Yeah.
firmly believe that could cause something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That's your brain isn't very far right behind there, and
Yep.
it's all very intricate.
Yep.
So
How many times have you heard stories about someone falling just right
Yes.
and just killing them, just like
Yeah.
snap, done?
Yep.
You know?
I am a firm believer it's just in the right place. So,
Right. I worked for Pepsi. I slipped on some ice, and I mean, it was one of those slips where my feet went above my head. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Charlie Browned it, and I came down and smacked the back of my head. And I'd walked into the Holyoke Liquors to get their order, and I was talking crazy. They called my boss. They're like, something's up with Larry. Like, he doesn't make sense to begin with, but now it's even worse today. You know, like something's happened to this dude. So, I went and got a CAT scan and all that, but they told me it's. Probably just scrambled your eggs a little bit, bud. You know, just don't go to work tomorrow and stay home and chill out. So,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said you had me at stay home. So
Right. Yes.
Write me a note.
all right,
Right.
all right, Kathy. Well, what we do now is we rock paper scissors to see which one of us has to guess first, right?
Okay.
How do you rock paper scissors?
How do you rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times do you do it?
1, 2, 3.
3 pumper.
3 pumpers.
We have 3 pumper and 4 pumper. It's a thing on this podcast. I'm with you. We do it boom, 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 right?
Okay. Yep.
Some people go rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, I've never done it that way.
Yeah, see, thank you.
Yeah.
See, we're all 3 pumpers here. I do the tolls every year. I think I didn't do them last year. I think 4 pumpers kicked our ass, but this year 3 pumpers are. What's up, Jennifer? Huh?
Yeah, 3 pumpers.
All right, we're gonna pump it up. Ready?
All right. Oh,
All right, Jen. We got 3 great stories. Headbutt from a 1.5-year-old caused a stroke. Met Mike at a bar and skinny dip at camp. No rules. What are you thinking, sister?
okay, so I'm going to take myself back to meeting Mike in a bar. And that's going to be my choice. And the reason I'm going to pick that is because I can imagine the drama that could have ensued between 2 girlfriends and a man in my 20s. Like, I think today it'd be much easier for me to say, hey, guess what? You guys got divorced. I'm marrying your ex-husband. And I think one of my best friends would be like, have him. You know?
Yep.
But back then, it was so catty and mean, and this one's for me and this one's mine. And
Yep.
I would have expected a lot more side drama from your girlfriend and yourself. And Mike just says, all right, you guys pick, I'm out with a big
Right.
ego. You
Yeah.
guys decide.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with meeting Mike in a bar. I have no doubt that you met Mike in a bar. I have no doubt that he may have met another girl first. But I think a lot more drama may have ensued off the back end of that. When you started dating Mike, even asked for his phone number, I can see her going, why would you give him money? So, yeah, I'm going to stick with met Mike in a bar. That's going to be my choice.
I'm also going to do that because I think the headbutt story is a true story. You know,
Yeah.
that's a very serious story. Skinny dip at the camp, no rules. That just sounds like a fun story.
I know,
So,
I want to go. We need to find this place.
anything else, I want that one to be true. I think Mike in a bar has got a piece of it that's not true. I think it's a mostly true story, but I think there's something there, like maybe the ice skating or something, you know, because I can't imagine Mike on ice skates. It'd be hilarious. But nothing's not coordinated. He's probably really good at it. So, see me on ice skates would be
I was
horrible.
going to say, let's come back. So if you were going to take a girl on a first date that you met in a bar, where would you take her?
Oh, movies and dinner and movie. I'm a horrible. No, you know what I've done
Gotcha.
on a first dates? I like a Bronco game, stuff like that. You know, or like a Nuggets game or something like that. So
Fine.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
because then you get the conversation. If it dies, there's something to do. You know,
Right.
just watch the game,
Yep.
and you know, we got 3 more
Absolutely.
quarters till I drop you off. And we don't have to talk ever again. So this ain't working, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna start drinking heavily, and then we'll see how this.
Well, and that's what's great about the movies, too, because you can just,
Yeah. Movies are boring though, or a comedy show. You know,
Sure.
or a comedy show.
As long as
I
it's a
love
good
it.
comedy show.
yeah. When we started comedy shows, it was such a hit to begin with because it was something different.
Right, yes.
So, yeah, and it's-
and we need that for sure.
Yeah, it's still done well. So, all right. Before you flip that over, I do want to say thank you to the Brush Emporium. Thank them for it's at 210 Clayton Street. Thank you for giving us this little studio down here to have our podcast at. It's so nice not having to break up and set up and break down every day, you know, every time. So they've been very generous, very cool about everything. Upstairs right now, they're doing bingo on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every week. So make sure you come down and check that out. They have great food. Kathy, have you eaten here yet? Yeah.
I'm a regular. Yes.
Yeah. They have great pizza, pastas. They have sandwiches now. They have ice cream. They have all kinds of great stuff. And as we were talking earlier, they have a great seating area with a bunch of board games over there. If you want to have an old school family night, come on down, play a little Monopoly, little shoots and ladders with the kids, show them how it was done back in the day. Also, if you want a great gift, come down to 210 Clayton Street. They have a bunch of vendors upstairs, local people doing their local stuff, unique gifts. You can go to Amazon if you want, but come down and give a local guy a shot. So thank you, Russian Emporium. You've been so awesome. They are actually the main sponsors of this, so I really appreciate all of them. So thank you so much. All right, having got my horn done. So we're going to both go with Met Mike in a Bar. Let's see your board there, Miss Kathy.
Dun, da, da, da.
Skinny dip in the
Oh, no.
What's not true about it?
I didn't do it.
At all.
But the funny thing to that is Mike thought I did.
Oh.
And so he came in with no draws on. And so when I told him, I'm like, why'd you take your shirts off? He's like, well, you said you did. I'm like, no, I lied. So he was the only one in the lake at that particular time with no shorts on.
Mike, we can see your willy, Mike. We can see your willy.
Watch out for those big catfish.
So I have yet not to skinny dip.
Yeah,
so
neither have you, so.
It's on my bucket list.
You're still awaiting your chance.
Yes. Yep.
So, Met Mike in a Bar is a true story.
It is.
That's cool.
Yep. And the only drama was, her friend leaving those messages on my answering machine.
I mean,
and that was it.
Probably hurt feelings. I get it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. But I mean, you can't argue with the result. Mm-hmm. If you guys been divorced in 2 years, I've been like, yeah.
Right.
But you made it so far almost 3 decades. So
yeah, I can honestly say that, for me to even want to have kids, more kids. I mean, I thought I was done having kids,
right.
and wanting to get married. That was something I never wanted to do. But I met, my Prince Charming.
Pure kismet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the headbutt's a true story also.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Mm-hmm.
Well, hang in there. They get smarter and smarter every day. So
yeah.
But I mean, I can also see as to where a blow to the head can.
Yeah.
Mom had lesions they found in her brain years and years ago, and they're okay. But the doctor basically told her everybody's got them because you bumped your head how many times or you smacked yourself how many times over the years, right?
Yeah.
So it's not an uncommon thing. So
yeah.
Well,
because when I got into urgent care, I said maybe I had got a concussion.
Right.
And she laughed. She's like, I don't think so. And it ended up being something serious. I mean, I'll eventually lose part of my eyesight unless I'm hoping God heals me and that won't happen. But, to laugh at that,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and babies, when their necks just...
Yeah.
So, it was like a whip probably hit you. I mean,
and he's just a little guy. I mean, Maverick is walking. Yeah. And he was full force. Yeah. And even, my daughter laughed. She's like, he did not. And then here we are. We're still dealing with the eye issue and getting injections, and I do really feel, though, that he saved my life.
Yeah.
So
he may have brought it to the surface, or they didn't let it fester.
Yes, absolutely.
Until it was at a point where it's of no return,
Right.
So.
Yep.
You betcha.
Yep.
And that's a blessing right there.
Mm-hmm.
When he gets older, like 18, if I were you, I'd hit a button back.
Oh,
Be like, just so you're okay,
Yep, exactly.
That'll be your graduation.
Right.
Bam.
Yes.
Kathy Gutierrez just knocked my ass out.
Right.
So we're going to talk now about you're starting a new business we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Forever loving your pets. Mm-hmm. So what kind of pets? What can I? What do you want? What are you willing to look for? I'm messing this up really bad.
Yeah, are you talking all the way up like horses, cows? Are you going to take over a ranch while somebody goes? Okay,
you know what? Actually, if somebody would just kind of want to show me what I would need to do.
Yeah.
I don't think I really have a limit. I won't do snakes. I won't do tarantulas, anything like that. I won't get anywhere near them. But, like if somebody was going to be gone and they have a couple of horses, a couple of pigs or something, they need me to go out there and feed and water, Oh, I would do that in
Yeah.
a heartbeat. I
Nice.
love horses, and maybe I would only ask in return that I get to come out and ride.
Right.
And so like this, my first client, there were 3 dogs, and one was a lab, one was a Rottweiler, and one was a pit.
Wow.
And so
Big dogs.
Yes, and I, with me just starting out. It just depends on who I get a call from. And just to kind of make it clear, this is not a get-rich-quick type of job that
No.
I'm wanting to provide.
No.
I want people to be able to go on vacation and their dogs be able to stay home
Right.
and not be kennelled, and know that that person is going to be checking on them every day if they require a walk. Some of the fees, if you're watching more than one dog, you can charge $4 for each dog. I don't do that. If there's medication to be given, you can charge for that. I'm not charging for that. If there's walking that needs to be done, same thing. It's a flat fee for however many days or nights, and I will stay the night if it's your
I was
pet
just gonna
requires
ask
that. Yes.
Are you going to incorporate mild house sitting, watering plants? If somebody were to come to you and
No,
say
if you want
that-
me to water your plants, clean your house, that will be extra for sure.
Sure, but
Yes,
is that
yeah.
something like if these people are like, well, we want to leave, but we need somebody here with our dogs all the time?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I
Good to know.
have a friend in Windsor that is planning a 6-day vacation, and asked if I would stay at their house, and I said absolutely.
Cool.
So my goal is for people, the parents of the fur babies, to leave and feel comfortable knowing that there is somebody there with them. Because I know. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and she said that she dropped her puppies off one time, and she felt like they just put them in a cage. And
That's what all my friends say.
You know?
And they even put cameras in. My friend's like, look at this. I can watch Miles. Nobody's coming in to do anything with him.
Yep, exactly. And I just want to provide that peace of mind and love to their fur babies and let them feel comfortable while they're on their trip.
Because they're family members. It's
Yep.
not their fault they
No.
had to be left behind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And oh my goodness. And especially like for me, the way I grieve when I've lost a pet, in a couple months I go and buy another one.
Really?
I'll rescue one. The last 2 I've gotten have been rescued ones. And so I just, they help fill a void for me in a lot of ways. And I just love dogs, animals.
See, that was my little guy up there when he passed away. Rodney, named after Mr. Dangerfield, of course. But
cute.
but when he passed away, man, it was crushing. I haven't had a dog since.
Oh, really?
I don't ever want to do that again.
Yeah.
I never say never. I'm sure.
It's heartbreaking.
Oh
Yeah.
man, when he died,
Yeah.
it was my great day.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But they do fill a void, and that unconditional love. I mean, you don't even get that from your kids,
Right.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
but
And
you
they're-
do from an animal.
And they're just always so happy to see you.
Right.
And I usually like if I used to when my friend Mandy lived in Gill, she had at least 4 dogs, and I'd be like, "Can I sleep with one of them?" Because I'm always used to sleeping with one.
Right, right.
And but I just love animals. So
You have a phone number here, Miss
do.
Kathy. It's 970-380-6334.
yes,
Cool. And I'll put that on the website along with you. Haven't got a Facebook up yet, but this is
No.
coming out in a couple weeks.
yes,
So,
absolutely.
if you're watching it right now, in the description below, you can find Kathy's information to if you need that kind of service, reach out to her. So,
Yep.
do you have an area? Morgan
right now, I'm
County
just
and-
starting with Morgan County.
Okay.
Yep.
'Cause I know we have a lot of listeners in Akron, so
Yeah.
and Sterling.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
But for now, just Morgan County.
Yep.
So
And even if you, if you have an animal that you have to leave work, for lunch to go home and let out,
Right.
give me a call. I provide that type of service too.
Okay.
So, yeah,
awesome.
Good deal.
It
And
does.
this is something Morgan County needs, you guys.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's it's smart. And you said it's not a get rich quick scheme. No, it's a be happy making money scheme.
Yes,
Right? So
yes,
do
absolutely.
something. Put a few bucks in your pocket, but
Yep.
something you enjoy doing.
Yep. Yep.
That's important.
Yep.
So super important. So
And I'll be putting flyers up probably in the next couple of days.
Okay.
So people have that available to them too. And
And you'll have a page, and it's
Yep.
Forever, Furever.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. And
Yep.
there'll be a link in the description. So
Yep.
Wonderful.
And I
Exciting.
wanted to thank my friend Brianna Fico. She is the one, she did this like in 2 days. She did my flyers for me, and she did my shirt. And she does a lot of fun, crafty stuff too, tumblers
Cool.
and shirts and things like that. So I just wanted to say thank you to her for getting this done for me so quickly.
is she here locally?
She is.
Does she
Yep.
have stuff here at the Emporium or no?
I'm not sure if she
Okay.
does, but
But she's got a Cricut and the ability
oh,
to get
yes.
it all done.
Yes,
yeah,
she does.
Good deal.
I've
Right on,
bought-
Brianna.
Tumblers are everywhere in my house. In fact, we don't even use regular glasses anymore.
Right.
We've got so many tumblers, and we've bought a few from her. And
Yeah, that's cool.
she made me my glittery Kansas City Chiefs shirt.
That's
I'm
right.
a Chiefs- I'm a Chiefs fan.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
I hate both of you.
Go
That's right. I
home.
forgot you're Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Yep.
Because she kept popping into my my little comments like, it's not like that, Larry. I'm like, it is like that.
Yes.
Dear Mike, I hate your wife.
Right. Yes.
I forgot you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had to
yep.
dump the bitches and make the switches
I hate
because I know. Sorry.
And I've never been an NFL fan. I mean, I was when John Elway
Yeah.
played for the Broncos, but ever since Peyton Manning left, they just haven't been able to do anything.
This
so.
next year is gonna be rough too.
It's
Yeah.
been
They're
a
gonna
tough
rebuild
go
it.
for
Yeah.
the Broncos.
But
Yeah.
I think they'll come back. So
But I did bring something for you, and you can share it with Jenny. I don't know how long it's been since you guys have had Easter baskets. But there you go.
Oh, how fun.
thank you.
You're welcome.
We also have a present for you. So that's awesome. Thank you,
You're
Kathy.
welcome. Absolutely.
It's been a while since I've had an Easter basket. So
Yes.
yeah,
Me
mom,
too.
Mom quit buying them. So
My kids, I went a couple of years without doing Easter baskets. And so
Yeah.
one of my daughters asked me back in probably December, are we getting Easter baskets this year? Yes.
I laugh because I tell people I still believe in Santa. If you're a kid, because he's real. But I'm 48 years old, but he's always brought me socks and underwear. So
Yes, always.
as long as he hooks
Yep.
me up, he's real in my book.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
You betcha if you believe you receive.
That's
Yeah.
right. And my kids
We
will
were
tell
always
you.
told that.
Yeah, they get gifts from Santa still.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm going to ride that thing till the day I die.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. You
So-
got to have something to believe in.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. If it's not a fat white guy from the North Pole, what's it going to be? Right.
Yep.
Kathy, did you have fun today?
I had a blast. Thank
Thank-
you so much for having me on
Thanks
your
for
show.
coming on.
Yes,
it's been
thank
fun.
you.
Yeah, it's been a good
Yes.
time. So I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Jen Neb.
Hey, Kathy, thank you again.
You're very welcome. Thank
See
you.
you. Peace.